During our first Future Focus Committee meeting, many of you had questions about how we can retain and build a campus culture during school consolidations. We know this is an important issue for everyone involved, teachers, students, and parents, and we want to address those concerns head-on. In this video, you'll hear from people who have been through this experience themselves. They'll share what they were worried about, what excited them, and most importantly, how things are going now on their campuses.
Hi, my name is Kelsey Hobgood. I taught at Guadalupe for 10 years.
My name is Lauren Rogers. I taught at Wright Elementary, and now I teach at Anita Carmona Harrison.
My name is Lori Sandifer, and I was at Haynes Elementary. I taught first grade at Haynes for 8 years, and then joined the Miller team.
My name is Haley Henry, and I started as a teacher at Murphy, and now I've been at Miller for 12 years.
I'm Lynn Wade. I'm an art teacher here, my 5th year at Irons. I was at 2 years teaching art at Smiley Wilson.
My name is Chelsea Manahan. I'm a teacher here at Irons. I started in semester in 2020. I started as a 6th grade math teacher. It was right before the merge and right before the pandemic hit.
My name is Debbie Starr. I've been at Hardwick since 2004, so for 20 years.
I'm Lori Holt, and I was at Bowie for about 6 years before the transition over to Hardwick.
I'm Dr. Alma Kanitebi. I was the principal at Jackson Guadalupe for 2 years, and then that last year I oversaw Jackson Guadalupe and Wright, and now I'm the principal at Carmona Harrison.
When you've been at a campus for a while, you get that school pride, and you know that it becomes a family. And so when we first heard that it was a go, and we were pretty sure it was about to happen, we all the teachers were kind of afraid. What's going to happen with me? Where am I going to go? Because not every teacher was even necessary at Hardwick.
I was having some anxiety, honestly, just because I don't like change. And it's funny because I have a different story. Murphy was where I went to school, and then my mother was a teacher there, and I did my student teaching there. So I had a lot of ties, to that, and I enjoyed my time there. So I had some anxiety.
There were so many rumors flying around.
People saying, oh, it's going to get bad, or this is not good. So I kind of was a little worried.
A concern for me at the time was like, will I have a home? But I wasn't like panicked or fearful. I knew I was still going to serve Lubbock ISD in some capacity.
I think we were all pretty nervous, and there was definitely some apprehension. We were such a small campus. We knew our kids and our families so well, and that was our biggest concern, is just that we may not know the kids as closely. But actually, I don't really think that's been the case.
I was scared. Definitely scared, but because the culture piece was, we were so close, tight-knit at Wright, and I know that's what happened at Guadalupe and Jackson as well.
So at Guadalupe, for the majority of the 10 years I was there, we had to share our music teacher, our art teacher. We usually had an assistant principal that had another campus. Our counselor usually had another campus. So all of those people were just on our staff part-time.
I knew that I had to bring the staff together some way, somehow. I wanted to build that camaraderie with the teams, with their future colleagues, start building those relationships and friendships.
We actually had some mixers. I would call them a mixer, where we would come and over to Hardwick, and basically everyone in Bowie came to Hardwick. And we had some colleague things that happened, like we would plan together. Of course, at Bowie being such a small school, we were islands.
So knowing that we were going to combine all together, it was nice that we started to build some relationships with some of the other campuses, having the opportunities to do things in events, as well as starting to build content knowledge with each other. We had meetings once a week with each other. It was really nice to start forming those bonds.
When you came over here, we already knew each other because of the PLCs, and so I felt close to everybody already, and so we just continued that culture, and we continue to intertwine all three cultures that the schools had. that were different, but we've all made it into our own.
So yeah, we were not really, due to the COVID era, we weren't really able to have successful PLCs. I mean, everything was still online. So, you know, we'd be across the hall from a teacher, we didn't even know their name because we hadn't got to meet and collaborate with them weekly like we do now. So that was very challenging also, trying to run our classrooms, let alone know who we're working with.
It made it really challenging.
The word we, that's big because it wasn't y'all and us, it's we, because it's now we. Even though, you know, that was hard and that was new, we felt that, you know, you're not going to make a change, you know, going against it. You might as well make the best of it.
Man, things now, to think back to my first year here, kind of crazy. Not only have the kids grown, but I've grown myself professionally. Our staff here is amazing. Love every single one of them. And I think it was for the best to consolidate those 3 campuses.
I think that it's much better than what it was at the time. I really do.
We are a team like you can't even imagine. It is like we're all Irons Cougars.
Lots of parents were, you know, kind of having that moment of panic. And I think that they looked at us as that, you know, guidance. And so it was really important for us to convey to them that the transition of merging to come together as one would provide so many opportunities for their kids, such as more support, more, you know, just a bigger school that's going to provide programs.
Parents came over and they were excited about our school. The parents were like, wow, this is a bigger school, and we were afraid of that because it was a little school before for their families and their kids had always gone to Bowie, just like our kids had always come to Hardwick. But we made them feel that it was a good thing, and I really think it's all about attitude.
We really tried to maintain the culture and the traditions and everything that was important to Guadalupe, Jackson, and Wright, and bring a lot of that here. We have a really rich Hispanic culture, and we do a lot to celebrate that. And I think our families really appreciated that.
And we talked to the kids about change, and we talked to them about we're going to get, you know, these kids are coming from a new school, and it's your opportunity to make good, it's to make good friends, to make new friends, to learn about new people and their experiences. And the kids were boosted up, I feel like, by the teachers.
That's the only way the school culture builds, is from the teachers. The kids see how the teachers interact, the parents see how the teachers interact. We had a great administrative staff that really pushed us all to collaborate together early on when we were still Murphy and Haynes.
And I think that's the main thing, is that everybody understands that this is a team. It's not going to be you know, we're better than you, or you're better than me, or you're different from me. We're all in this together, because LISD, we're one huge we're one huge school district, and all of us have the same thing in mind. I don't care if I teach here at Hardwick or at another campus, we all want our students to be successful. So that's what we have to keep in mind, is the bigger picture.
We need to do what's best for kids, and sometimes what's best for kids is not always convenient for adults. And we are in the kid business.
And change is difficult, but you need to embrace it because there's so many benefits. And we have experienced that. We have a lot more programs than we had before at Murphy. We weren't able to have as many full-time programs, and then after-school programs and things like that are great for kids, and pull-out programs and just interventionists. I mean, we just have so many resources that are helping kids. And for me, it's easier because I have help. I have a team that we all work together, and there's 5 of us, and whatever responsibilities there are, we divide them up, and it's really less work.
It has to be a 4-way team: admin, teachers, students, parents. It all has to work together, and a lot of that was missing during the COVID year and during the merger year, a lot of divisions, but that's a lot better these days.
Just watch what you say, first off, because it could get misconstrued like it did. But I would say look at all the information that is given to you. Really take that into consideration. Don't just go based off of opinions. Form your own opinion, and just really listen to your leaders, especially Dr. Rollo.
Be an advocate for the parents. If the parents don't know what's going on, help them find the sources, help them find the resources. Just be a safe place. I know when I got to Irons that first year, a lot of the Whistling kiddos, I was their safe person because they knew me. So, that's based on relationships. Keep those relationships.
There's going to be pros and cons. You have to just be willing to accept the change. Time is changing, so with that, you have to adjust to it. As far as like programs, enrollment wise, Irons offers a lot of different programs, and that some of these schools just can't offer because there's not enough enrollment. So those are some of the good things, that we can have more kids, we can put these programs together. They can do choir, they can do orchestra, they can do mariachi, stuff like that, there will be enough kids to make that happen.
They're not doing this to us, they're doing this for us. And again, going back to, we've got to do what's best for kids.
It's going to be a good thing because they're going to end up in exactly where they need to be, where they can bloom.
It sounds scary. Change is scary. Breathe. It's going to be fine. In the end, you're going to look back and be like, why were we even worried about it? Because look how great it is. So that's kind of where we're at right now, or where I personally am, is this is incredible, and we've created something amazing together.
We hope the stories you've heard today provide some insight and reassurance as we move forward with our discussions. Change can bring uncertainty, but it also brings opportunity. Opportunity to create a new, vibrant school culture that draws from the strengths of each community involved. Our focus remains on how we can continue to provide excellent opportunities for our students. And that means working together to preserve the heart of what makes each campus special while building a stronger future. Together, we'll ensure that every student continues to thrive in a place they're proud to call home.